If you create a platform that reduces problems, it then frees you up to do more. And if you take that agile approach to that, okay, where I'm going to compartmentalize these items from a service delivery to a service platform to my service catalog, right? If I look at all those things as in an aggregate, right, they have to be very streamlined in order for you to deliver and have like that quick response, quick delivery, quick change, right? Again, being adaptable. So, and I think Agile really defines that. Like if you have to believe, right? I mean, Ted Lasso here, put the believe sign above the doorway, right? Like you've got to believe in the model and you have to have your team believing in the model. And frankly, you have to get your clients believing in the model. They don't know that it's agile. They don't care.
I've been doing this in other areas like finance. I'm like, how do I make this more efficient, simplified? So the team's done a bunch of things, and our payroll was taking way too much time with outsourced payroll. It's like 50 hours a month. I'm like, this is crazy. So we moved it back to QuickBooks. It's integrated. It'll take us like 5 hours a month now.
So it's funny. I've automated QuickBooks like for pretty much everything I could possibly automate in QuickBooks. And like, for example, like we know what the bills are coming in. So we already have like pre-canned like recurring expenses. So when it hits the bank and it immediately matches the transaction on the date. So it's like, okay, done. Don't have to worry about that. Like I don't have to, like I don't pay a bookkeeper. I don't have to because I've automated the system to do it for me.
Yeah, we still get, so we have the bank feed set up in QuickBooks. So it pulls that in. But so some of them are matching automatically, but some need to be manually classified because it's,
true.
And then maybe it's a bit of the Canadian banking system is backwards, that it shows up as like wire payment. No idea which client it was. So you got to track it down, and the client didn't mention an invoice number, and it doesn't match any open invoices in QuickBooks or ConnectWise. So figure out how we apply it. Or there's withdrawals from government, but you don't know what kind of tax or what. It just,
You don't use like an automated payment system, like a Connect Booster or a WiseSync, WisePay type scenario?
We use WisePay, yeah. So those automatically reconcile. But then there's other clients who aren't paying through that. They just send us a wire or a bank transfer.
Same here. Yeah,
so
same here.
We take a lot of payment methods. It's
fair enough. Yeah. Do you take credit?
Take credit cards, yeah.
Okay. We don't.
Okay.
We killed that like officially 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. I was tired of paying fees.
ACH.
I was done.
Yeah.
ACH only or check.
We get very few checks, but we did just get a check scanner because we're spending like an hour a week doing a bank run, and we're like, that's dumb. So we got a check scanner.
Oh yeah, no. Do that. I mean, I used to have a check scanner, and then honestly, I found it to be it wasn't paying for itself because I could just do it through my phone, or someone else could do it through their phone and just scan the checks that way. It was. I mean, I don't go to the bank. Hell no. Oh God, that's painful.
The check scanner works well because it supports all three of our companies and the currencies, because we get US and Canadian checks, and
yes,
that was problematic with the branch and stuff.
A little bit different for you. We're just one company, one situation. For you, yeah, I could see that. That makes a lot more sense. Do you have like a finance operations person who's handling that?
Yeah, I got basically a bookkeeper and who handles, it's just transactional, and then somebody else is like a finance specialist who does more analytics, reporting, forecasting, those sorts of things. So he works a bit more with the tools, the integrations, some of the government agencies, and really knows his QuickBooks really well. Fathom, we use Fathom for financial reporting.
Yep, I know Fathom. Yep, we've used it too. We stopped using it when we went to QuickBooks Online Advanced, and we get most of the same reporting that we were getting in Fathom. If Fathom used to be included with Advanced, and then QuickBooks went and built all the similar like reports, and then they kicked Fathom out. So, we had Fathom for like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, great product.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I like detail.
Tried another one called Clockwork, which was meant to handle the consolidation and forecasting better, but it was like $800 a month and couldn't get it implemented, so we canceled that.
Wow, that's a lot of money. I mean, if they'd have to really produce an ROI in order to validate that cost. I mean, for a company our size, like I look at that, and I was willing to pay for QuickBooks Online Advanced because I wanted that reporting with Fathom, right? But yeah, no, I totally get that. Like, oof.
Yeah. So I talked with Bjorn the other day, and
Mm-hmm.
because he was looking at top left, or he's looking at Asana, or he's helping a client with Asana for their projects. And what just struck him was Asana doesn't do swim lanes. Trello doesn't do swim lanes. Microsoft Planner doesn't do swim lanes. Are you using those?
So I don't know if I would agree with that statement. Planner does swim lanes.
I haven't seen it.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Planner does swim lanes. You have to create the group titles, and then you can move the cards across. Absolutely. You can use a Microsoft list and from SharePoint to create a Kanban.
Okay, this is the columns, right? The Kanban layout, but then not the horizontal swim lanes.
Well, how much different is that than top left? Because top left, we don't have, we have the horizontal. Where's, oh, I see what you're saying. I guess there are some options within top left to do that. That's true. Yeah.
Because we use them heavily. A lot of our clients do is swim lane by technicians. You can see exactly what their work is, or by project, by client, by phase in the project. A lot of ways to do a swim lane.
That's true. That's true. You're right. I guess you don't have that flexibility, but you have enough. I mean, it's a start. I mean, Trello and like even Smartsheet and I mean, let's say Planner, they do have like the base, horizontals.
Oh,
so you have something.
Well, yeah, they got the vertical columns, I would say, but then not the.
I'm sorry, vertical.
Not the stacked swim lanes, which is a key Kanban feature concept.
Oh, totally agree.
Yeah. We use Planner as well, especially my admin and finance teams are using it for their tasks because ConnectWise is not very friendly for that. Using activities to do it is very manual and not visual.
I mean, I know we can view activities separately inside of top left. I would love to see that integrated into like an overall view as well, because that way people could see, okay, hey, so-and-so's in a meeting, and now granted, if you're using ConnectWise, everything should be a ticket and you should link an activity to a ticket, right? But then it's just a boatload of extra work, and I hate ConnectWise.
So the vision is, and this might be 3 to 6 months yet, is, well, in the short term is be able to create tickets and activities out of top left in a really quick way and intuitive way, because it's kind of painful in ConnectWise. But do that, because that's one thing we've had missing. Like you can manage a ticket activity in top left, but not create one easily. So that's coming out over the next couple of weeks. And then, because that would let's say my finance admin team to get back into top left, manage their activities from there instead of Planner, enter their time against the activity, all of that. And then we're doing this UI rebuild to rebuild in React. And that's probably 3-4 months away for that yet. But once, as part of that, we would be able to integrate tickets and activities in the same view. How
are you guys going to keep making it faster?
That's the part of why we want it to be a lot faster. Some people are like, they really love top left because it's quicker to do a lot of things in top left than ConnectWise. But I know so much more is possible. The technology's really come along. Like how we're developing it is how we did it, like how things were 5 years ago. So the React will do that. We've got the kind of a preview version of that. You can look at that if you want it. It's available. It's in your instance.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
So that front end is already a lot faster because it's like a single page app. So we're not having to go to the server to get all the tickets. And then the other technology we've done in sort of like a hackathon is, how do I explain that? It's more socket based. So let's say something changes in ConnectWise, like a workflow rule runs, a status is updated, whatever. It'll just push, ConnectWise do that already as a callback to push that one change into top left. And then the server will push that one change into your browser. There's real time pushed all the way through. So as other people are hitting tickets, just those micro changes are showing up. So it'll be instantaneous. So right now we've got like a 30-second reload everything method. So if you have a lot of tickets, it takes a long time to refresh.
Right.
So we've got the designs for it. Now it's just getting through it, rebuilding that while still getting features out because we want to keep rolling things out.
Sure.
That's what's going on. But the goal is a really responsive interface for technicians and managers. It's great for managers, but the technicians need a bit more love. So unifying the interface because there's too many edit dialogues. Have one really good ticket edit screen, a really good time entry screen. And then, some of these JavaScript optimizations to make it load really quick.
Well, you already have such a massive advantage over ConnectWise itself with the GUI. Right? I mean, doing anything via the ConnectWise API is like night and day performance.
It's fast.
Difference. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous how slow ConnectWise the GUI is because they effectively make all the calls in the GUI. And they keep claiming there's this whole new ASIO platform and things are supposed to be better and we're going to get all these performance gains and blah blah blah. And it's been 2 years and what do we where when?
I
I mean,
have
think how long
heard.
it took ConnectWise to move to the cloud. I mean, truly, like where we were at a web only interface. Even then, I still can't like import contacts unless I'm in the desktop client.
There's very few things that require the desktop. The QuickBooks
Right.
desktop integration and a couple things like
Yep.
importing like that, but
Yeah.
99.5% is in the web.
It's not something you do every day, but it'd be nice not to have to deal with it at all. I mean, there are plenty of web apps that can do an import of a CSV. Like this is not, it's not rocket science here.
Yeah, just been a low priority. So coming back to, I think the key thing of adopting Agile and getting these results that you have is in how we think. I guess how do we characterize that? A different way of thinking. Like how is 90% of the industry thinking about how they do work versus an agile, nimble, lean MSP?
Why? That's such a bigger, broader question that involves more than just like tickets, right? And workflow. It is your approach to the business, right? And how you choose to provide your service delivery, how you choose to create parameters around that, right? How you then in turn say what you will do and what you won't do, like that, because that's part of those parameters. And then from there, it's a matter of execution on all those things. And I say all those things because it's really a lot of stuff. Standardization. Okay, what are you standardizing? Are you standardizing on Dells, Lenovo's, Surfaces, whatever? Are you standardizing on Win 10, Win 11? Are you standardizing on file servers? Or are you a cloud person? SharePoint, Google, whatever your platform is, right? Of all those standards. Okay, once you have that dialed in and you have that as a repeatable process across all your clients, you then generally have a consistent understanding of what incoming reactive things you're going to be dealing with. Okay. And at the same time, you're also dialing that down because if you create a platform that reduces problems, it then frees you up to do more. And if you take that agile approach to that, okay, where I'm going to compartmentalize these items from a service delivery to a service platform to my service catalog, right? If I look at all those things as in an aggregate, right, they have to be very streamlined in order for you to deliver and have like that quick response, quick delivery, quick change, right? Again, being adaptable. So, and I think Agile really defines that. Like, if you have to believe, right? I mean, Ted Lasso here, put the believe sign above the doorway, right? Like, you've got to believe in the model, and you have to have your team believing in the model. And frankly, you have to get your clients believing in the model. They don't know that it's agile. They don't care. What they care about is, okay, am I seeing results quickly? Is my team more productive? Am I seeing that what I'm paying for is of high value? Right? I mean, I look at the number of endpoints we manage and the volume of tickets we get every day, and it's comparatively, right? So it's not chaos. And there are a lot of MSPs who live in chaos. And you made a comment about that one MSP who had 300 tickets or whatever. It's like that would give me an apoplectic. Like I would freak out seeing something like that, right? I mean, at most on the board at almost any given time, we might have 50 tickets peak, and that's including project tickets, right? For us, like average scheduled, or we call them, tickets and ready, might be between 5 and 8 every day. And everything else is cleared off the board by the end of the day. It is done, like done. And it's just a different approach. And we've kept that as a part of our business from the get-go. And so I think people have to take on that. Am I willing to be that disciplined? I guess the key word is discipline. Do you have the mental fortitude, and can you be that disciplined? Can't speak for everybody. I am a very highly disciplined person. So a good buddy of mine once called me, actually, if you've seen the movie Top Gun, like, the original, way back when in the 80s.
I know it's a popular
it's an
one,
American,
but I haven't watched many
popular
movies.
one.
So, yeah.
So there's all these characters in movies, and the protagonist is a guy named Maverick, and the antagonist is a guy named Iceman. Now, he calls me Iceman not because I'm the antagonist, but because Iceman doesn't make mistakes. Iceman's very disciplined. Okay, so that's me. I'm very, very disciplined. So I think that applies well toward the agile model, right? If you have that level of discipline and you can then build that discipline in your organization, you'll get those kind of results.
Yeah, it's something I don't have it all figured out, but it's something I'm working on.
Neither
Is
do
the
I.
discipline, right? The commitment. So it's like right now I'm doing this 75 hard challenge, which is, there's a couple phases. The main one is the 75 days. So you got to do the 6 habits of read 10 pages from a self-improvement book, drink a gallon of water, eat clean, no alcohol, 2 workouts a day, which could be a walk or yoga or something, right? So one has to be outside, rain or shine, and a selfie. And doing that for 75 days. And if you miss any one, like you don't get the full gallon of water, you're back to day one. Just discipline to get her done no matter what. This builds my mental toughness, commitment, discipline to carry through. So I've done that several times. It's been good.
So you've done the 75 days multiple times.
I've done the 75-day challenge. I've completed all the way through 3 times.
That's amazing.
And then there's another phase that's like 30 days, including like cold showers and some other habits. So I've done that. And now I'm doing another, it's called phase 2. It's just 30 days of the original 6 things. So I'm doing that now. But I can see that my discipline falls off in between the rounds. So it's good to get back into it.
Here's a personal question. How does that affect your family life? How does it affect your business when you're on the 75 days versus when you're not?
I'm way more efficient with my time. My energy is way better. My mental health is better when I'm doing it.
Okay.
So
how are your relationships?
They don't suffer from doing it. They're better with better energy, better mental health, because I kind of suffer from this intermittent burnout and such. So I could see that. That's kind of why I started this new round on the weekend, because I could see that I wasn't doing well where I was. And I'm like, this is crazy. I'm up 15 pounds and not feeling good.
You don't look it.
Yeah. I'm still down 35 pounds from where I was 2 years ago. So I burned out hard that I couldn't even be in meetings and stuff anymore. There's no way I'd be doing this. I couldn't even do 15 minutes a day. And now I'm like 6-7 days or 6 or 7 hours a day in meetings. But I burnt out. I couldn't even be at the dinner table. So I had to make some big changes with health and nutrition and everything.
Well, good for you on changing and recognizing that.
Yeah. So I dropped like 50 pounds through that, got more active. Yeah, I did my first marathon a couple of weeks ago.
How did you do?
Good.
Did you finish?
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Finished. Yeah. Under 5 hours, 4 hours, 40 minutes. Got her done.
And that was a full 26
mile marathon. Yeah. Just did it on my own. Just found a local trail and went and ran, organized my own thing. Because
no one with you?
I had some friends from church who joined on the first half.
Okay.
So they joined the first half.
And you had people waiting for you at the end or any checkpoints?
Yeah, my family was waiting at the end.
Alone? And did you have anyone like after the first half? Did everyone like at the checkpoint? Like so someone was there in case something happened, like if you got injured or something happened?
It's a trail where there's a lot of people, so I wasn't worried about that. Kind of a park along the river, so I did that.
Okay.
Kept going, just reloaded at my car at the halfway point and got more food, more water.
Good for you.
Got back to it.
Good for you.
That's discipline and commitment. So yeah, so I found with doing it 2 workouts a day, I've got to be really careful with my time, but it basically impacts my whole week. So I got to think ahead on the week. So I found I get a lot out of a day, a lot more now than I did 2 years ago, 5 years ago. I think I'm pretty.
Do you sleep well?
It's improved. It's not where it should be. Like I track it on my Garmin and I kind of average around like high 70s, low 80s. And I want to get that into the 90s.
What does that mean? 70s, 80s, 90s? What does that mean?
It's a score of 100
hours of sleep.
100 is pretty. No, the length of sleep. It's just one thing that goes in there. But they look at your stress, your recovery, your heart rate, the variability in your heart rate, temperature. They look at your sleep cycles: deep sleep, REM sleep, light sleep, how restless you are. So there's a whole bunch of things that go into that metric.
Okay.
But I can see that's one of my main things for mental health is getting good sleep.
I'm curious. So what made you go with Garmin versus like a Google or a Apple type scenario with the watches?
Well,
or
I was on Fitbit, and then my Fitbit died.
Okay.
But my brother had this spare Garmin, so I grabbed that. But it's really designed for sports, triathlon, swimming, everything. So it's rugged. It's happy with water. It's really dialed in for sports. It really has different screens for if you're running versus walking, whatever. Very customizable. Syncs up to all the gadgets. With my bike, with the power meters, all of that. So I'm just
great.
A nerd on the metrics, right? But it all syncs up.
No, that's fantastic. I would say that's probably one of my weakest areas where I'm highly disciplined at work. I am not as disciplined personally. Now, I don't drink, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. Like I drink water. I probably don't drink a gallon a day, but I drink probably, I don't know how many ounces are in a gallon? Is it 120? I
I
can't
don't
remember how
know. I
many
think
ounces
in
are.
liters. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're Canadian. I can't remember, but I drink the equivalent of probably between 72 and 96 ounces of water a day. And I don't sleep as well as I should. And that drives me nuts. I probably get, because I don't do any of the, like the Garmins or the Apples. I don't track it. I don't like that tech. I try to keep that tech separate from me, right? I don't want any attachments. I still wear an old school analog watch. Like I'm good like that. But I probably average about 6 hours of sleep a night, which is not enough.
No.
No, that's like my big, and there are times where I'm like getting 3 or 4. So like that, those don't happen as often, thankfully, but they do.
But I've just researched a lot. That's just as part of getting to metabolism and weight loss and energy and mental health. And the big thing is the biocircadian rhythms of sleeping when it's dark, awake when it's light,
Yes.
getting out in the sunshine. Even when it's cloudy, getting outside in natural light is huge. And then what time we go to bed makes a big difference.
What time do you go to sleep?
Too late, like probably 10:30 to 11. And I should be more like
Okay.
9:30 to 10. That would be
That's
my
when
biggest
I get
thing.
9:30 to 10.
And then kind of my alarm 6:30. I've changed recently. I used to be like snooze and stuff, but I'm like, no, that's such a waste of time. But it goes, jump out. And that's my first win of the day is just jump out, right?
Yep.
But I've done things like on my phone, it goes to grayscale mode after at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And then I block a lot of apps like YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook after 8:30. So
That's
really
good.
start reducing screen time, reducing the blue light. And that really helps on the sleep quality. It's probably one of the biggest things on sleep quality is really zero tech for like 2 hours before you sleep.
So you think 2 hours? Is that what you've read? Is that kind of what you've seen? Is 2 hours?
Yeah, it's a lot better than 1
I've
hour.
read 1.
Anything is better. At least an hour is great already, but 2 hours is even better. Just wind down, read, relax, journal.
I'm finding that I enjoy reading books more. It's more that habit of taking my iPad with me to the bedroom because I don't have a TV in my room, but I'll take the iPad and like I'll look at it and I'm like, I'm bored. And I close it and then I go and I look at my book, right? Or whatever I'm reading at that point. Like, that's still old school and I want to read a physical book because if it's a blue light book, that's what I call them, right? If you're reading off Kindle or iBooks or whatever, books, whatever it's called. I mean, yeah, it's all, you're still on the screen. And if you're on a book, you're not distracted by other stuff.
Yeah. So I don't have an iPad or tablet. I read from a Kindle because it's not blue light. It's backlit, so I can read in the dark.
It's like Paperwhite, right? Or paper.
Whatever, e-ink, whatever they call it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'll fall asleep reading that, whereas a phone with the blue light or tablet with the blue light keeps you awake longer. It stimulates your brain, right? So, but I'll read in the chair in the living room. I'll do my journaling. I'll read my 10 pages, fall asleep there, nod off, and then I'll crash in bed. I'm gone in like 60 seconds.
Yeah, I fall asleep pretty fast too. That is one good thing. But you have little ones too, though, don't you? How old are your kids?
Oh, youngest is 6, oldest is 15.
Okay. Yep.
6 of them.
So how do you find time for them and read and journal and everything else?
Schedule it, commitment. So we do breakfast together, we do dinner together. My wife and I take turns on putting kids to bed. So I try to get 2 to 3 hours every day with them. Okay. 3 hours between breakfast and the dinner, evening routines.
Okay.
So I've improved that.
And then weekends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you all go to church, right?
Yep.
I'm friended with you on Facebook, so I know I've seen the pictures and all that kind of stuff. So that's
we're at the top of the
a long time ago.
Yeah. So we're at the top of the hour. We've been all over the place, but hopefully that's useful.
I know, sorry.
It's Agile. We got into the weeds. We got high level. I got philosophical. But it is all connected. Like we're one person. And our health, our sleep, our nutrition, our relationships, as you mentioned, that all impacts how we work and our discipline. So as we improve each of those areas, they all get better. But
that's probably the best takeaway from this whole show, right there.
Okay, like they all think multiply. If you get to sleep, increase that by 30%. That's going to multiply every other area, like better decision making or more positive. We can influence people better, serve people better.
Agreed.
Yeah, so we got to work on that. Objectively define like what's the level 10 of ourselves, of Matthew, of Wim, and then objectively how are we doing every day against that, right? And what's just one thing we can do differently to get there? Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Yes. By the way, one of my favorite books is The Phoenix Project. So thank you for sending that. I forgot to, I think I probably sent that an email years ago, but love that book.
It's a good reminder because I haven't been sending that out recently, so I need to get back to that.
Just don't send the Unicorn Project. That wasn't as good.
No, it's not really a novel. It was more of a handbook kind of thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, very much so. Well, thank you for having me.
No,
really
thank you for
appreciate
being
the
here.
whole
It's been
experience.
good.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for sharing. And see you around.
Take care.
All right.